Hi, everybody. It's Jim Wanzeck with RE Masters Millennium, and we're here in our Greenwood Village studio. It is called the Mount Elbert Studio, really one of our latest and greatest opportunities that we try to do to help our clients understand what we do here at RE Masters Millennium. And today, I have Tom Ullrich. Hi, Tom.
Hey, Jim. How are you doing today?
Fantastic. Tom and I have gone back so far in the real estate business. He started out with Moore & Company many years ago, joined our office, and has been with me how long, Tom?
I think it's too long, Jim, but it's okay.
Oh, no, don't say that.
It's been over 30 years, Jim.
Okay.
Like I said, when Patty and I, we've been married 35 years, and she said, hey, Tom, you really need to get out of the Moore system and get into the RE system. And at the time, I was very fortunate to hook up with you and your team and get over to the Fiddler's Green office, which I was there for a very long time. So it's probably been 31 years.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been a broker owner for about that time, so it's about exactly as long as we've had RE Masters, and now RE Masters Millennium. And here we're at 6020 Greenwood Plaza Boulevard. So we changed about 5 years ago, and we really wanted to make a little bit different concept of really people communicating with our clients. And so you're here today. Tell us a little bit about Tom Ullrich, the person, because everybody knows you're the #1 broker in Colorado, and you're famous as far as that is concerned, because everybody thinks you got this big team. But tell us about Tom Ullrich.
Well, Jim, last year I think we sold 270 houses or something like that last year. And I've got a great assistant, and we've got a great team over here at RE Masters. One of the benefits of when we're coming to the office is the teamwork that the office works on. A lot of the RE/MAX offices, when you come in, don't really follow the team concept. And with our amazing assistants, the management involved, yourself, and all the other ladies that are working here, and gentlemen as well, especially in our studio today. He's a wonderful young man that's helping us out. We're going to give a big wave out to him.
Hi, Jesse.
Hi, Jesse. Thank you. My first time on this, so I apologize if I don't do it correctly.
Oh, no, this is great.
But anyhow, so I started this when I was 23 years old. I'll be 61 in August, so this is all I've ever done for 38 years. As I always joke, someday I'll get a real job, and this is how it worked out. The key thing you're looking at is I'm an efficient processing person, and I have an amazing assistant that handles all that. So when we're working on transactions, the important thing is representing our sellers in a fiduciary manner, as well as we have with our buyers, and to have as many options to have where you can make money in this business. And that's the key thing you're looking at. So from geographic farming to working with builders, to working with past clients, to working with mailers, estate divorce work. There's a whole bunch of other things you can add to it. But the idea is to have opportunities where you can make this money. And we're an amazing business right now, but we do have some challenges, as you know.
Oh, every day.
Yeah, we've seen a drop. And my degree is finance. My background is I came out here from Wisconsin to become a swimmer at DU. I was a walk-on athlete, became a 21-time All-American, and was Male Athlete of the Year my senior year. And I got into real estate at 23. As I tell her, when I looked like Beaver Cleaver, now I look like Wally. And one of the main things that we've done is I got into a lot of giving the last 7 years, and it really put my sales into the stratosphere. So I give away about $100,000 a year to various local charities. It's a really important part of my family's, and also what RE Masters does. We do a lot of giving back in community as well. So they follow the same template that I'm working on.
Yes.
But to sell lots of houses, it's a simple answer. You have to work hard. And it's a very challenging market. One of our biggest concerns these days is a shortage of inventory.
Right.
As you know, we've dropped inventory about 66% or 65%. My degree's in finance, so I'm a boring numbers guy. And what you're seeing is that we're having these multiple offer situations. That's what Jim and I were discussing this morning. So we wanted to share it with the team and everyone else. And Jesse was nice enough to help me out here and kind of get me introduced to my first time being on the RE Masters Media Network here.
Right.
And so again, if I'm not doing very well, everybody, I apologize. But the key thing we want to do is represent our sellers on these contracts. And so we typically will order virtual tours, have a stager meet with everybody, and then what we do is we put the listings on the market on a Thursday. We will then do showings on Saturday and Sunday, reviewing highest and best offers on Monday. I do not disclose the purchase offers that people have submitted. I know some of the folks are taking classes where it says you can do that, but we had a good example of this yesterday where we received multiple offers on the property, and the person says, can you tell me, are we in the running? Well, they upped their price by $20,000.
Right.
We would not have had that if we were sharing all the prices that everyone's submitting.
Okay, wait a minute. Let's slow down a little bit. Let's kind of take some of the ABCs out of that.
Okay.
So what you're saying is that you had multiple offer situation as normal, which is in the marketplace.
Correct.
The agent called you and said, "Hey, what other offers are getting?" Try to understand and try to gain some information so that she could kind of go back. And what you did was what?
I said to the agent, I said, I cannot tell you what the other offer prices are. I recommend that you submit your highest and best offer with no escalation clause, with appraisal gap coverage,
Right.
and some type of free post-occupancy for the sellers so they can stay in the house after closing, so we can coordinate the closing with the purchase of their next home.
Okay, so I got that. And so what happened? So they tell me the offer that she submitted, and then because of that conversation, what happened?
Well, I don't really want to share the price because that person...
That's fine. Not a problem. You just kind of generally tell us.
So the offer was over asking by a bunch.
Okay.
And then we said, she kept asking me, are we in the running? And then what they did is they took the offer that they were going to submit a half hour ago,
Okay.
and they raised it $20,000.
Okay,
So in a half
fantastic.
hour, my seller made $20,000.
Right. And so were they the winning bid?
Yes.
Okay, that's fantastic. So because you did not disclose, you discussed it, and your tactic was, hey, bring your highest and best, which then led to the frenzy that happens in the MLS right now.
Right.
And so you got a better, higher offer than disclosing them because they might have made a $1,000 better offer, and now you got a $20,000 difference, knowing that we're talking about imaginary stuff in this interview a little bit.
That is correct, Jim. And I think the biggest challenge is that when you do submit listings in the MLS, and you do have 40 showings in 2 days because it's COVID, you
Right.
can't cross over showings, you're going to receive 40 phone calls on that listing.
Right.
So we inputted 4 listings. I had 160 phone calls on Saturday and Sunday.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
And I do respond, and with all apologies, everyone, I'm very straightforward. I'm very brief with people. And that's the key thing, is that I want to be truthful. I want to be straightforward. I apologize if I offended anybody. But the key thing we want to do is represent our sellers as a fiduciary, as you would with the buyer.
Yeah, so let's talk about what you do is you put it in the MLS. You're very specific when you're telling the other agents in the broker remarks how to deal with your sellers and what you recommend. And many times they don't even look at that. And so they lose opportunities because they don't even look at the MLS.
That is correct, Jim. With all the Zillow and Redfin, the agitators is what they are.
Right.
Because they take our data from MLS that we input on behalf of our sellers, and the agents are not able to read the MLS.
Wow. So, Tom, when you talk about fiduciary, some people might not even understand fiduciary. So just kind of expand on that a little bit.
So I started when I was 23 years old, and I've been very blessed to have a young-looking face for doing this right when I started, okay? And the biggest challenge we have, Jim, is that when I started, there was a dear friend of ours, Duke Fife, that has passed away.
Yep.
And his thing was always, when in doubt, write it out. And when you read your listing agreement, there's a thing called fiduciary duty. And we always want to follow the fiduciary duty to our sellers because that's why we're being paid what we're being paid.
Right.
And so that's what we're doing when we mention the fiduciary duty, which is a duty of trust and honesty.
Right.
And those are the two. I mean, that's how I live my life.
And
I said,
that's fantastic because so many times I am talking to agents and say, well, I'm not going to let my sellers do that. They put the Superman cape on thinking that they're helping the sellers, and they may not be. And that's when disclosure is so key in today's world, that as long as you disclose to your clients and let them make the decision, you will keep you out of court forever.
well, Jim, and that's what we want to do. I mean, it's a wonderful business. You can make a ton of money doing it. It's way different than when I started in 1983 when my first commission check was $6,000 and I took home a whole whopping $3,000.
Right.
And so it's a challenge, but you can work hard. You can do very well at it. If you have a team like RE/MAX Masters around you that has great infrastructures, great training, also the famous studio that no one else has that I'm aware of. Jim, is that correct?
I haven't heard of anybody else, but I will tell you, Brian Buffini was so impressed that we had this opportunity because we want to get to our consumers before anybody else does, because what's happening is these aggregators, agitators, whatever you want to call them, are trying to let our clients be misunderstood so that they can possibly, not get the benefit of a true realtor benefit fiduciary that they will never be like we are today. So I really appreciate, Tom, the opportunity. Tell me a couple of the charities, though, that you've been involved with over the years.
Well, the one I'm most involved with is Homemade. And Homemade is a group that I've been involved with for over 20 years. Last year, I donated 40,000 diapers.
Okay.
Nope, I didn't pick them out myself, but this year we're going to do up to 50,000.
Wow.
And so also another one I do is called A Precious Child. They're a group out of Broomfield. Amazing people up there, and they worked with over 55,000 kids.
Right.
And we're doing a fundraising with them right now, and I'll be donating to that.
Okay.
I also have a second home in Tennessee, and we're involved in, the music industry is pretty popular in Nashville. Right. And so my house is 2 hours east of that. And what I do is I give to the local community to help out their golf teams, but also we're supporting the band. And one of my dear friends that works for Land Title, one of our partners at RE/MAX Masters, it's a great title company, a family business, very similar how Jim runs his. And we've had this opportunity, and we donated some money to $10,000 over 4 years to support that charity on behalf of Laura and her mom and dad that recently passed away.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic.
It's kind of what I want to just do is just make a difference.
Yes.
I haven't always been the perfect person, and I'm going to regret that for a long time. But
Tom, you're very, very, we really appreciate what you do, and believe me, I really appreciate what you do. So tell us how to get a hold of you. If somebody is listening to you and wants to compel to ask you questions or be part of your business, how would they get a hold of you?
Jim, they can reach me at 303-910-8436 is my cell phone, or you can reach out to the Tom R. Mann email at AOL.com. Yes, I'm the only guy still with an AOL account after as long as I've been doing. I got Jesse chuckling in the back room over here. He's like, really, Tom? You have an AOL account? But the key thing you're looking at, if you're a new agent or an agent that's trying to find out where they need to go with the RE/MAX Masters team. Jim Wanzeck and his group have done a great job. They're really moving ahead of everyone else. Everyone's sitting watching what we're doing, and it's important to be part of that team, and I think that's what Jim will get you if you need some help on that as well.
Well, Tom, I really want to thank you for spending some time with me, because you are truly a humble man, and you know what? People don't quite understand that unless they get to know you, and I think we've maybe have done that a little bit today, so thanks very much for spending some time with us.
Well, I'd like to thank Jesse for introducing me to this. It's my first time. He just gave me a thumbs up, so that's good. And Jim, God bless you and your family and everyone else, and appreciate your time today.
You bet. Have a great day. We'll see you soon.